West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I'm one half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, Machel St. Patrick Hewitt. Santoki will be back next week, we hope. Just a few things that he has to attend to, but he will be back on the show very, very soon. Little quick video, as ever, looking at West Indies 3-0 ODI series defeat to New Zealand. Not unexpected, arguably, depending on what kind of West Indies fan you are. A more rational West Indies fan would say they actually did better than I expected. That said, we did all. Santoki tweeted today, just for the benefit of those who don't know. So, as a result of losing 3-0 to New Zealand, where is it? The rankings. Here we go. So, as a result of losing 3-0 to New Zealand, West Indies stay 9th, which is the final position you can be to qualify automatically for the World Cup. But we are now only one ranking point above Bangladesh, who are obviously one place above us. So we have 77 ranking points. We dropped 2 because we lost 3-0 to a better team. We dropped 77 ranking points, and Bangladesh, of course, have 76 ranking points. I remind people, though, that the cutoff for automatic World Cup qualification is early 2027. So it's not that means there's umpteen number of ODIs to go, but there is still a long way to go before we start making big pronouncements about who is going to the World Cup and who isn't going to the World Cup. Ideally, in an ideal world, West Indies would have won one of the 3 ODIs against New Zealand. But given, and there are some mitigating factors here, which aren't excuses, they're just facts. New Zealand are the best team, best full member side in home conditions in ODI cricket. They have a 92% win ratio at home. West Indies, as much as they have improved in ODI cricket under Darren Sammy, that has largely been at home, where we've won 4 out of our last 5 series at home. Away from home, we're yet to crack the code. We're yet to work out how to win regularly against higher ranked sides in ODI cricket away from home. So that's still very much the final frontier for this West Indies ODI side. So we were always going to be up against it. Don't listen to those West Indies fans who will want to say, crisis, oh my God, this means Darren Sammy's got to go. England just got moved to a murked up when they went to New Zealand a month before us in ODI cricket, right? And England are better than us. They're one ranking space above us, but we know that England are better than us. They murked us 3-0 when we went to England, right? So let's not try and rewrite history and try and pretend that West Indies should have won a game. Sorry, though, we'll get into the should have in a minute. Let's not rewrite history and pretend that West Indies went to New Zealand heavy favourites to win a game. It was always going to have to take a miracle performance or us playing well above our ability to beat New Zealand in their own conditions. And this is why I'm not altogether despondent about it, because when you then look at the performances themselves, I think West Indies performed better than most of us would have expected in the context of a 3-0 defeat. A reminder, the first ODI, we lost by 7 runs. New Zealand posted 269 for 7. West Indies, in reply, got to 262 for 6. It went down to the final over needing, if I'm not mistaken, something like 17 or 18. And in the end, they lost by 7 runs, just as tight as some of those T20s were, right? Justin Graves and Romario Shepherd doing a really good job at the back end to try and get us over the line. But ultimately, we were juking the ball early on in the piece, mainly Ali Cathanes and Casey Carty, and we left ourselves too much to do in the back end, despite the best efforts of Graves and Shepherd to try and get us over the line. That was game 1. In game 2, West Indies batted first, posted 247 for 9. Shea Holt with a magnificent 109 not out from 69 balls. And again, New Zealand won it by 5 wickets, but again, it went down to the final over. And this time, we lost it at the back end with the ball. When Mark Bracewell was dismissed, New Zealand needed 54 runs from the final 29 balls with 5 wickets in hand. Now, don't get it wrong. In modern limited overs cricket, 54 from 29, you're still probably favouring the batting side, but it would be wrong to not to try and pretend like West Indies were in the game. They were in the game. Most bowling sides against a team that's stronger than you, you'll rip off the other person's hand to take what? They're 54 needed off 29, and they've only got 5 wickets left. West Indies would have ripped off a hand to even be in that situation versus New Zealand, and we lost it in the final over, so lost it at the back end. And even in that game, it was evident that Shepherd was starting to carry an injury in that game. And then in the final ODI, West Indies batted first again, only limped to 161 all out in 36 overs. Matt Henry running for us, but even in reply, we only had 161 to defend, and we still made New Zealand sweat to win it, eventually reaching the 162 needed to win, but losing 6 wickets along the way. Like Shepherd was replaced in that game. He would have played otherwise, but was replaced by, was it Carripier? Because he was injured, like I say, and couldn't take the field, and that's severe. And even with a limited, and that's not a slight on Carripier, but more so because it was pace that was winning the day in this series, right? So ideally, we would have wanted Shepherd to play, but we still made New Zealand work hard for the runs. Now, you get no points for losing 3-0. So don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say, the moral victory is ours. I'm not even going to try and make that argument, but I am going to say, given West Indies had no Shamar Joseph, no Alzari Joseph, Moti is down rotten in form, King is down rotten in form. Neither of those latter two played, obviously. Akil Hussain went off to play down bad T10 cricket, right? Given who we are, given our strength in depth is basically 0, that was much better than your standard, intelligent West Indies cricket fan could have expected. Obviously, you'll have the kind of clickbait West Indian cricket fan and irrational West Indian cricket fan who'll say, it's not good enough, Sammy. Like, obviously those lot exist, but you just have to shut them man off, because all they want to do is just smash up the keyboard and go mad over every time we don't win, like they don't know what this is. You know what this is. You know what you signed up for. Yuck. So all things considered, it was actually all right by the West Indies. I'm not altogether despondent about it. However, there are some key talking points that we do need to be mindful of ahead of our next ODI engagement. I actually don't know who our next ODI engagement is, by the way. Someone get in the comments below and let me know when we next play ODI cricket, because I can't. Is it Pakistan? I can't even remember who it is. Is it Pakistan in like February or something after the T20 World Cup? Someone get in the comments below, let me know. So some talking points coming out of it. Again, the biggest issue here for me is the West Indies batting is still, and I don't know how Sammy gets round it. And actually, forget Darren Sammy. All of you who are like, Sammy's useless. Okay, let's work with the notion that Sammy's useless. So get in the comments below, people, and let me know, how do we fix the batting? Who is out there that can help Shea Hope? Now, last year in 2024, the answer was Shafane Rutherford, but obviously his form is down horrendous at the moment in general. Earlier this year, it was Casey Carty, right? So like Casey Carty is having a down rotten time of it. But let's not forget, in the first half of this year, Carty hit 300s, 102 versus Ireland, 170 versus Ireland, 103 versus England. Since that 103 versus England, which was 10 innings ago, he's not past 50, right? So Carty's form has tailed off in the back end of 2025. That's not helped the team. Rutherford's form has tailed off. That's not helped the team, right? Which means that, and then obviously in the King's been dropped on bad form. That's not helped the team. John Campbell came in, only averaged 11. Chase, not that we're picking him to necessarily save us with the bat, only averaged 19. Orgeese, he's a young you out here. He averaged 20. Afne's played 1 game, 29 off about 50-something balls. Graves is a late order hitter in this team. Like, respectfully, we are still at a stage of development where we're probably still looking at the ODI team and thinking, boy, if Shea Hope don't fire and try win this on his own, what are we really expecting to do with the bat? We're probably still at that stage. We thought we'd cracked it when Carty came to the fore and Rutherford came to the fore. And for a while, it was like, yeah, we've got two batters who can regularly help Hope. But what we've realized is Hope will regularly help the team and others will sporadically help the team. And if we really want to get into this World Cup automatically, we're going to need at least at least one other batter who can perform not as regularly as Shea Holt, because we're not going to get that, but who can perform at least. Let's say if Shea performs 1 in every 2 innings, we're going to need at least a batter or two who can perform 1 in every 3 innings to maybe hope that ties up with Shea, because otherwise it doesn't. And this is why sometimes you have to take some of the criticism of the West Indies team with a pinch of salt, because I always say to fans, and please get in the comments below, please let me know, because this is what we need to start doing when we're talking about West Indies cricket. Everybody's allowed their opinion, and everyone's allowed to say that this man is shit and that man's shit and Sammy needs to go, and like, everyone's allowed to say whatever. Reefer can't be our coach, and everyone's allowed to say whatever they want to say. But here's the thing I'm going to keep demanding from you lot in the comments and everybody who watches this. Give me an alternative. Are you watching Super 50? Give me an alternative. Who's going to help Shea Hope on a regular basis? Who? And if you can't find an answer for that without just guesswork, because some of you confuse guesswork with the answer. And the reality is, I think the difference between me and some of these other pseudo media guys is that I just accept reality. It's not that it's not just that I'm stink London man and you don't like how I say things and so on and so forth. I just accept reality. It's still hope and prayers. And until somebody can show us that they can regularly contribute alongside Shea, it's always going to be a struggle. Always. Please tell me in the answers below. Like we dropped King, cool. And I said on the video a few weeks ago, King deserves to be dropped. We bring in John Campbell. He can't help us. Who's going to help us, cuz? Who? Regularly. Give me some answers. Get in the comments below. Let me know. And then with the ball, Seals was good, 6 wickets at 21. Matthew Ford, good, 5 wickets at 29. Good on his comeback. But that was really it. We didn't really have anything else. And this is why I mentioned at the top, no Alzari. Let's not forget this twisted. Alzari is still our best white ball bowler. No Alzari. No Shamar Joseph to add a X factor firepower, right? Multi's form is down horrendous. Akil played 1 series in Bangladesh and then went off to the down bad T10 stuff. We don't have many strike bowlers available right now. So even with the ball, and this is why I have to praise the team for being far more competitive than I expected, because we didn't really have a bowling attack out there. Seals and Ford, Chase took 3 wickets at 37. That's all right for Chase, to be fair, given this was a seaming tour. Graves, 2 wickets at 61. Springer, 2 wickets at 67. Shepherd wasn't really fit. Let me look at economy. Graves' economy 7.1, Springer's economy 7. Shepherd was actually 5.7, which wasn't bad, but he couldn't bowl. He only bowled 7 overs across the 2 matches because he was brucked down. And again, this goes back to shout out people like Panda Steph, who made this point a while ago. Santoki and I also made it on shows at the start of the year. Our calendar is back to back to back to back to back. The modern day player can't cope with back. I'm surprised Shea Holt's not broken down. God forbid Shea Holt ever breaks down. What are we going to do then? You'll see us losing to Solomon Islands if Shea Holt ever breaks down, right? The modern player can't just keep going back to back to back to back. And where West Indies suffer, like we got Alzari out for injury, Shamar out to injury, Romario Shepherd just broke down, right? And the problem is West Indies, we don't have strength in depth. So if we lose 1, 2, 3, if we lose 2 first choice players to injuries, we're weak. And then we lose 2 players because their form's down rotten, we're an associate side. This is why I keep telling people, allow it, innit? Allow the expectations, because we don't have a deep enough pool to say, oh, now let's call this man. You see what's happened to the test squad? We just called OJ Shields because they scoured the Caribbean and can't find the next man who can bowl over 90 miles an hour. We don't have a deep enough talent pool. People are going to jump in the comments and say, Mash, they could have picked Amir Jangu. I've got nothing against Amir Jangu playing. But this is why I'm saying to people, stop the guesswork thing. And I think Amir Jangu probably should get a try again. But stop the guesswork thing. Because saying stuff like Pikame Jangu, what's he got to do to get a goal? That doesn't equate to we have a guaranteed answer to anything. So this is why I always say to people now when I do shows about squads that are being picked and so on and so forth, it is what it is. It is what it is at this stage. Moaning and groaning and saying this man should be picked or that man should be picked and this one should be like, it is what it is, because really and truly, we've only got two men who are world class. Really and truly, Shea Holt with the bat, this in ODI cricket, Jaden Seals with the ball in Test cricket, and that's it. We've only got two world class, man. Am I missing anyone? Who else have we got that's world class? Come on, man. Come on, man. Allow me. New Zealand 3, West Indies 0. It wasn't a surprise. It was the expectation, but I think we did better than expected, even within the confines of a 3-0 defeat. Like I say, no panic stations just yet. We've got enough series still coming up between now and the cutoff point in a year and basically a year and a half's time. So no panic stations. I don't think there needs to be any great in-depth analysis of anything. Kind of was just that went as expected. And in fact, it went better than expected because we didn't get licked down. Test squad's now out. It's now on to the test series. Obviously, at the time of recording, Super 50 is going on right now. We've had 6 games in Super 50. Half of them have been washed out. Yuck. Like, share, subscribe, algorithm, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Algorithm. That's what helps Caribbean Cricket Podcast grow on the road to 16K YouTube subscribers. We've been growing really quickly in the last few months or so. Can't stop the quality. We'll always rise to the top. If you'd like to support the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, of course, super thanks, super chat, super sticker, buy me a coffee, or you can become a patron, www.patreon.com/Carib Cricket. Gets you into the Discord, 25% off all the merch. Remember, we've got the Caribbean Cricket Podcast merch out at the moment. So get involved with that if you're interested. 25% off if you become a patron. And also sign up to our website. Not the website, sorry. Sign up to our Counter Press news outlet. It's my attempt to basically go against CrickBuzz and ESPN and that lot. That lot don't know how to write about West Indies cricket. It's just some generic man, usually from Southeast Asia, Asian subcontinent, writing stuff about West Indies, and they don't know the culture, they don't know the cricket, and I've had enough. My mantra in life has always been the same: if you want something done properly, do it yourself. That's what Caribbean Cricket News is all about. So that link is in the description below. And trust me, people, the writing on it by me and others is what you actually need to read about West Indies cricket. Got an article coming out this week on Shea Holt, so look out for that drop as well. People, that's me. Little quick one there. Get in the comments below. I expect to see the usual suspects in there moaning and groaning because you're raunchy. But I'll see you there. I'll be Machel St. Patrick here at 1/2 the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Peace!
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.